This video would be the first in a series of RHCSA practice exam sessions. So the goal is to walk you through each exam, the main exam objectives. Basically, these are objectives that are for the RHCSA exams, and the questions you're seeing here are based on each objective. For example, the first one here, which is understand and use essential tools. So we've got that. This video will just focus on understanding and using essential tools, the kind of questions you're likely to come across in exams, or at least if you're able to do this, then you should have no problem with completing any task that falls under this category. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, dropping a like, or drop a comment if you've got any questions. So let's get in. For us to do this, I have VMs that we're going to use. So I have UTM running on this machine just now, and node 1 and node 2 are the servers we're going to use. So each server is already running. I'll just show you. Yeah, so each server is already running, node 1 and node 2. Mind you, we are going to go through each task. For this video, as I did mention, it's just going to be for this understanding essential tools. So let's go to the questions themselves. First, text search and archive. So let's open our servers. This is the terminal to server 1 or node 1, and then this to node 2. So if we start with the first task here, so it says, first, find the string listing in this location, httpd conf http.conf. That's essentially the HTTP configuration file, and save the output to root web. So you use grep for this. You're finding a file. So I'm grepping for a file called a string called listing. Where do I want to look for this? I want to look for this in httpd conf http.conf. That's the file, the location where I am searching. So if I find this here, I want to, it says here, save the output. I want to redirect. So this is one of the objectives in the exam. So yeah, the exam objective. I want to redirect this. So if I use double, the arrow here, it means I want to append to the bottom of any file that's existing. If I use this, it's going to override. So let's say append. We want to append this to root and create this file, web.txt. Hit enter. That's it. We're done with this objective, with this task, the first one. How do we verify? Just ls that location, ls that file, this, or you can cut the file. You see that it's there, but let's cut it. Yeah, that's it. So next, create a gzip compressed tar archive. So archiving is also something you might need to do in the exam. So of /etc, this is supposed to be /etc. If I, yeah, so of /etc, you name it this, and then you save it in a vault/vault directory. First thing you need to do is check, do I even have a direct directory called /vaults? No, it does not exist. So let's create it. mkdir, we go /vaults. Yeah, we have that directory now. What next do we need to do? Create archive. So it's a gzip compressed tar archive. The key things you need to know here is tar is a utility for archiving. Gzip will compress the file. So you can either use tar, create an archive first, then use gzip to compress it. But another option, which is the quickest, is for you to use tar with the option for compressing using gzip. So let's say I'm in the exams and I cannot recall what options to give to supply to tar to make it compress in gzip format. I can just man tar, as in check the man pages for tar. This is a good skill to have, to be be comfortable, be familiar with, looking up man pages for commands, just in case you forget. It happens. So tar, this is the utility. So what am I interested in? So I will just / just to search. I'm looking for gzip. So if I say gzip, enter. Now you can see gzip, it says -z. That's the option for gzip, and that's it. That's what I need. So the syntax tar, I want to create tar cvf, the file v verbose, then z to create not just an archive but compressed using gzip, as the question is asking us to do. What's the name? The name, it's in the vault directory which we just created, and we're going to call it etc. We're going to call it etc etc _vault vault.tar.gz, and of what directory do we want to archive? etc/etc. So you see, that's the syntax, /etc, this the name, and that's it. So if we hit enter, it's going to archive, it's going to create that. How do we verify? Just ls/vaults. If ls/vaults, you can see it's there. That's us. We're done. This is just a suggestion. Use man pages if you do not recall. So next task, links and shortcuts. This also part of the objectives, and you're very likely, it's possible you find this in your exam. So what's this? In /shots directory, do we have a /shots directory? That's the first thing we check. No, we don't. If it's there, yeah, you use it. If it's not, you create it. mkdir /shots. Good, enter. We've got /shots now. Okay, so create a file A. How do you create a file? Just touch file A, right? Touch file A. For example, you've got file A. Yes, that's the name of the file. Then create a link, a soft link, file B. So creating a soft link, you use the ln command. If you're not familiar with that, just man ln and read. Make links between files. That's it. Just see the options and everything. So I'm not going to waste too much time on that. Just showing you, just in case. So ln, I want to create a link, a soft link, file B. So a link to what's my target is file A, file A that I just created here. But this is supposed to be in the /shots directory. Yes, so let's remove file A from here. Remove, or we don't have to remove. Let's move it to /shots. Yes, exactly. /shots. Move file A to /shots. Yes, so if I ls, or let's just go into /shots. Yeah, we're in the right place now. pwd /shots. This where we should be creating the files anyways. Yes, now a link. I want to create a link. What's the target? It's file A, and then if it's a ls-s, a soft link, file A, and then the name of the link, they say the question is asking us is file B. So file B is shortcut to file. So now we've created that. What else? It says create a hard link. Hard link is just ln file. What's the target? File A, and then the hard link here is the name is file C. So hit enter. How do we verify this? If you ls, since we're already in the shots directory, ls-al long listing, you can see that file B points to file A. File A is also a link to file C. It's also a link to file A. But another way to verify this is we can put something in file testing. Let's say file testing. We can put something in file A, right? Which is the content file A. Now, since file B and file C are shortcuts to file A, it means if I cut file B, remember we did not put anything in file B. If I cut file B, it should show me the contents of file A. And if I cut file C, it should show me the content of file A as well, because they are shortcuts to that. That's it. Verify it works. Good. Advanced file operations with find. Yes, so this also part of the exam objectives. This is very important you understand and know this using the find command. For example, you can find and read about it, search for files in a directory. It's a very, very, very important tool because I use it like very often in terms of my day-to-day tasks, and it's a good skill to have anyways, even if you're not preparing for any exams. So find files in slash USR that are greater than 3 MB. I just said man find now because if you're not familiar with find, just take your time and read and understand the command. Do not, I repeat, do not try to cram anything if you're preparing for the RHCSA, or if you just for your own understanding. Understand how the commands work. You don't need to recall everything. That's why you've got help and man pages available, because you've got access to man pages in the exams anyway. So don't try to, cram any syntax, or try and understand how it works. Yeah. So okay. That being said, let's say first task here is find files in USR. So the syntax find, I want to use the find command to find files where in this location. It says files, so the type of document I want to find is file. Type of object is a file -f and then what was it saying? That are greater than 3 MB. So the option size and plus 3M, that's the syntax, plus 3M, but less than 10 MB. So size again, size less than 10 M. And so if I hit enter now, it's going to display all the files that are in this directory with this attribute. They are greater than 3 MB but less than 10 MB. But it goes further to say we need to copy them to a directory called big files. Yes, I should have read all the questions completed, because it's important, because we do not have this directory, or it's possible that it's not existing. If it's not, which I know it isn't, because I am pretty sure I didn't create any directory called see, what I'm trying to do now is just to keep this. If I hit enter, it's just going to be like a comment. It's there for me. So ls to look for big files. Do I even have a directory called big files? No, just create it. mkdir slash big files. Yep, slash big files now exists. So I can go back to our command, Control A to come to the beginning of the line, Control E to go back to the end of the line, and let's continue. Now we've got big files. So find slash USR. In slash USR, the type is file. Size should be, it's greater than 3 MB, less than 10 MB. And you use the exact keyword to copy. You want to copy the file, everything that's that we've found using that command. Let me try to expand this a bit. So anything that we found using that command, we want to copy that to slash big, all the files to slash big files. So the syntax is we end this with backslash and semicolon. So hit enter, that's done. How do we verify? Just ls slash big files to see if there are files there. Yes, we can see now that there are files in slash big files that we just created. Okay, that's fine. Now we go to the next one. Find files in slash etc that were modified more than 120 days ago, and copy them to var temp 20 directory. Do we have any directory called var tmp 20? If we do not, then we have to create that. mkdir var is already there, tmp temp, and let's create this 20 directory. So now that it's there, we can just find, where do we want to find the files in slash etc, and what are they? The type is f file, and modification time is time, last modified plus 120 days ago. So m time is just more than 20 days ago. And then the same syntax, just copy these files to copy them to var tmp20, copy them to -exec. We want to use copy. You can give copy options here if you want, but that's not really necessary. var tmp 20, so var tmp20. That's it. Syntax is close this and hit enter. That's it, it's copied. If there are any files that I have modified in like more than 120 days ago, they should be listed here, and we've got all of them listed. So next, it says find all files owned by user H Hadoga and copy them to root H files. So I know we don't have a directory called root H files, but let's just check if there's any directory. It's not there. Let's just create it. mkdir /root H files. Yes. So now we want to find files, all the files. So we are looking at the root, the root of the directory tree. That's /, find any type file, type user, this user, then that's it. Any file in the system that's owned by this user, and then copy. Let's see. Yeah, copy them to a directory called roots H files, and that's it. So hit enter. Okay, don't worry about this errors. Let's go to /root. Let's go to directory itself, /root H files, ls. Let's ls. Yes, it's there, so it's fine. I think it's not able to read these files. That's fine, but that's it. That's the syntax. And you can use def null to not see these errors, but that's not important. It just gets the job done. Next, find a file named httpd. So now we're looking for a file. And save the absolute path. So any absolute paths anywhere it appears, save it to where are we saving this? Paths to /root/ httpd. So let's say let me. So I want to find a file named, since a location is not specified, that's on the system. So then the type should be file. Then the name of the file is httpd.conf, and save. It's going to search the entire directory tree and save it. So this is going to append. Saving here it's a absolute path, so it's going to append to root and a file called, we are creating this. It's going to create this file if it doesn't exist, which it does not actually. .txt. Hit enter. It's done. So we can actually, since it's a file, we can actually cut it. HTTP. So you can see the absolute paths to anywhere that httpd.conf exists. It's going to be there. And then remote access. This another section, another task from the objective, from the exam, RHCSA exam objective. So from node 1, we are in node 1 here. If you say host name, is node 1. So node 1 .home. So from that node, SSH into node 2 as user Hadoga. So this node 2, if you want to SSH into node 2, it specified the user already, right? If in the exams, they're going to give you the what do you call it? The password for that user. I've got the password for the user because I created the VM and the user itself. So, but in the exam, they're going to tell you this SSH into this user, into this system as maybe root and this user, or as a particular. So from here, let's say let's know what the IP address of node 2 is. So if I have config on node 2, I know this is the IP address. It's important because if node 2, if you are not able to reach node 2 with the host name, then you should know the IP. In this case, if I say ping node 2, for example, it doesn't, my system doesn't know what node 2 is, so it doesn't know it with its host name. But if I ping with the IP of node 2, yeah, it goes. So it means I will try to connect using the IP address. But just so you know that in the exam, it's going to be either the host name or the IP address. So which anyone that you're being provided with, that's what you should use. So in this case, I would just say SSH what user Hadoga and at the IP address. So I want to connect remotely to that server, which is node 2. If I hit enter, it's going to ask me if I'm sure, this key, the authentication key. Yes, I would say. If I hit yes, hit enter, it means then provide the IP address of that node, of that user on node 2. So type the IP address, hit enter, and let's see. Permission. Oh, yes, it's HA at node. So let's see. What did I what did I miss? Password, is it? .70.6. Did I change the password on this? Okay, let's try and fix this. Let's try and change the password of that user. Maybe I changed it and forgot. So password of this passwd. Let's give it a new password. Let's just say password. Password. Yeah. So now we want to SSH into from node 1. We want to SSH into node 2 as that user we just changed the password of. So let's say password, enter. Oh yes, of course, that's it. I changed the password. So yeah, that's you can see it's going to tell you that there were 2 failed attempts. The attempts we tried, the number of times you try to connect with the wrong password. But yeah, in the exams, you don't need to worry about this. You're going to have the username and the password. If you're required to reset the root password, then that's a different objective, which we'll get to in the next video. I think the next exam objective. Anyways, so if you print working directory, you see we are in, or let's say hostname, we are in node 2. We have SSH into connected remotely to node 2. There's also a different video for setting up root SSH and generating SSH keys. It comes under the category of security as one of the exam objectives. So for this, they just want us to SSH. Yes, what's the next thing? Copy the contents of etc fs tab to var tmp. So we can do that on either of the nodes. It's not specified, so let's do that on node 2. So I'm on node 2 here. I want to copy the content of etc fs tab to a directory to /var tmp. If I hit enter, if I ls var tmp, I should see fs tab as the new file, as the file I've added. So that's copying. I've copied that. It says set the file ownership to root. So what does file ownership mean? So if I ls var tmp fs tab, Control A, come to the beginning of the line, ls-al, a long listing. Yes, so after ls-al, we can see that it's the permissions, as I've mentioned. The root here you're seeing is user and group. So we'll just change the owner to root. It's still in this case, it's still going to be root. The group, we are not interested in the group ownership. But if it was something else, maybe sysadmin, maybe we have another group, not root, then we can specify it here. Or if we have a different user, then this will be the user, and that would be for var tmp var temp fs tab. This is the file. Hit enter. It's not going to change in this case anything, because it's the same user it's still root and root, but that's the syntax, and that's how you do it. So set file ownership and ensure no execute permissions for anyone. So this is a just change chmod. I want to remove execute permission on the file var, which already it doesn't have, but that's what you do. Var tmp fs tab, hit enter, that's it. ls-al for that directory, var tmp fs tab. There's the exam objective of security file access control, but let's say chmod, if we want to add execute permissions for on this file, I just want you to see like the difference. And if we ls-al on var tmp fs tab, hit enter, let me shift this so you can see now the difference. Everyone can execute, both the user, the group, and others can execute, unlike before that we don't have. And then we can remove that just for fun now. var tmp fs tab, hit enter, and ls-al on var tmp fs tab, hit enter, it's gone. So that's it. That's the first exam objective. Understand and use essential tools. So as I mentioned, I am going to the next video in this series will be create simple shell scripts, will be this objective, and the next one following that will be operate running systems. That's how we are going to cover all the exam objectives, everything down to manage containers. And this the way I have structured everything, the way these questions are structured, it's going to prepare you, it's going to make you, help you cover the exam, test your knowledge, do hands-on, go try setting up a system and do everything together with me. And you can always drop questions on anything that's not clear, anything that you need more explanations on, things like that. I would like to thank you for watching this, and please remember to subscribe, remember to give a thumbs up if you find this useful, and share with anyone you think might also benefit from what we are sharing here. Thank you, and bye-bye. See you in the next one.